Hey there, Parker Reed here, and welcome to PR Media, your home for everything movies and music through my eyes. And today we have a review of the brand new 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray edition of Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. The apparently comatose Michael Myers is being transferred from one hospital to another, but he wakes up when the ambulance crew talk about his surviving niece, Jamie. After slaughtering his attendants, Myers sets out to find his one living relative who is, fortunately, being cared for by a kind and resourceful foster sister named Rachel. Meanwhile, the ever-cautious Dr. Loomis remains on the killer's path. Going into this review, I've never seen Halloween 4 before, but it's heralded as kind of a bad sequel in the Halloween franchise, and most of the sequels are bad. But this is a drastic course correction from Halloween 3, which did not include Michael Myers whatsoever, and the fans cried out in agony, so they brought him back in Part 4, and overall, I did enjoy the sequel. Yes, it's very self-aware, and it's campy, and Michael Myers looks god-awful in this. I don't know why it's so hard to get his mask right. It's probably the cheapest costume in all of film history. And I did like this almost as much as Halloween 2, surprisingly enough. I like it much more than the entries that came after it, but overall, I would recommend it as a Halloween sequel. It's probably one of the better sequels, but that's not saying very much. So I would lightly recommend the movie, but would I recommend this 4K transfer? Let's find out. If you decide to pick up Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray in the United States, there is only one version to pick from, and it is the new Scream Factory Collector's Edition you see here. And on the front we have some new original artwork by Scream Factory featuring Michael Myers, and on the back we have some information about the movie, its technical specs, as well as what special features are offered. Here is what the spine looks like, and everything is housed in this slip case. It's not a traditional slip cover, and on the case itself we have reversible artwork, and I decided to go with the original poster artwork. And on the inside, we have a Blu-ray disc on the left and a 4K disc on the right. For visuals on Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, we have native 4K, and this is full screen, so you will not have black bars at the top and the bottom, and this is a great looking late 80s Halloween movie. While I didn't enjoy the cinematography as much on this film, it did feel very reminiscent of the early movies. Overall, it does look crisp, it looks clear, and a lot of this is shot during the daytime, which is somewhat abnormal for a Halloween movie, but there's a lot of detail here, and there's a good amount of grain, but it's never distracting like the first movie is sometimes with the layers of grain that it has. And overall, this is a pretty sharp and pretty good looking picture. And the HDR here does it wonders in the nighttime scenes. It really adds a lot to the ambience of this movie. And while it's not the greatest picture in the world, I do think it's pretty solid. For audio on Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, we have Dolby Atmos, and it's fantastic. I like this soundtrack a lot more than the third movie. This is the first time where the 80s really took over the Halloween franchise. I mean, this came 6 years after the third movie, so they're knee deep in the late 80s. And overall, this is a good sounding track. And some of the dialogue is a little bit harder to hear than the first couple of movies was, so that was sometimes frustrating. I did have to put on subtitles for that. And overall, it's a decent use of Dolby Atmos, albeit it's not the most impressive in the Scream Factory set by any means. So would I recommend Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray? I'm going to say yes, this is a casual pickup just like the last couple of entries. It's not the worst sequel in the franchise, it's definitely not the best either. I'd probably give that to Halloween 2 because it is just a continuation of the first movie, but overall, this is not cringe-inducing the whole time, albeit Michael Myers does look awful. So if you're a fan of the Halloween franchise, I would pick this up, especially since it'll probably sell out pretty quick. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you saw here, you can check us out on Facebook or Instagram, and like, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. My name is Parker Reed. You've been watching PR Media. Keep supporting physical media, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.
Oh, God!
Who's gonna be next?
Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers.
Maybe nobody knows how to stop him.